Good morning, everyone. This is Ida with Created to Create. I have a project share this morning. I was just messing around. I got in a new die and I wanted to play with it. So I'll show you the new one that I got in. These don't look so great, guys. I was just kind of messing around, cutting it out with foam, all foam layers, one just with paper and adding a little bit of dimension and adding some stickles and glossy accents. And these were okay. These are okay for something like maybe a fall card. And I am going to try and use this die to do a Christmas, a fall, um, um, a faith inspired card. So that's why I picked up this candle. Because I think it's very versatile and you can do, different cards with it. So I'll share with you what that die looks like. I have everything stacked up here. I always forget to close the door to my craft room. So the die that I picked up, and this did come from Allie, and it's a three-piece die. It comes with the whole candle. What I like about this candle is that you can cut it different lengths. So out of this one candle, you can probably get 3 different sizes, and it will look amazing. So, and then the fact that it has 2 layering pieces, so you could do a candle, just a candle without the layering pieces. Then you can do one with all 3 layering pieces. Then you could do one with either of the layering pieces, and they would all have a different look. So that's what I like about this die. I think it's really, really nice. Let me move this out of the way. So I think it's really nice, and like I said, you can use it if you're using it for like a faith inspired one. The Lord tells us to be the light. And that we belong, that He is the truth, the way, and the life, but He is also the light. Um, you can use it for many things. So that when I bought it, I was thinking, uh, about the Lord and what He says about His children. So that's one of the ones that I used, and I'm going to share with you. Actually, for this one, I did use several. First, I'm going to share with you the ones I used. I used this die by, this is hot off the press, and I will link anything I can find in the description box. The only die that I used out of this is this little ornament. It's a 2-piece die. I love the fact that these have the shadow and then they have the intricate die. So I used this little ornament out of this set. I really love this set. I've actually used several of the pieces in here. I haven't used all of them yet, but I have used the little stocking on my black and white. I also used the candy cane on my black and white. This would have been a great one on the black and white, but I didn't use it. The star. So it's got a lot of great tiny ornaments, especially when you're doing tiny embellishments. And it not only has the intricate die, but it also has the shadow. So that's what I like. I really like this die. So that is another one of the dies that I used. And what did I do with the bag to this one? I don't want to lose any of the pieces. So I used these 2, and I also used, let me see, this stamp and die set by Hero Arts, and it does come with the stamps, and it comes with you can stamp the word joy and then you can cut it out, or you can just stamp it, or you can just cut it out. So it's very versatile as well. So, and I like the little small sentiments that have to do with joy, like it says peace, love, and then of course you would do joy in the bigger word. Wishing you joy again, be filled with joy, sending joy, spread joy, joy to the world. So there's different ones that will go, sentiments that go with the word joy. So I picked this up last year. I'm sorry, I know when I keep moving my hand like that, I forget that my phone is trying to focus. So I'll try and stop that. Us Hispanics, we talk with our hands. Anyway, this is the one that I used, and I haven't used it very, very often, but I really like what I created with it this time. I just took it out and started playing. And then another of the dies that I used, this I believe is the Natalie die, and this was gifted to me, I believe, by Miss Vicky Pine. Don't quote me, but I think she sent me Happy Mail. She sent me the Polaroid frames, and then she sent me these, and I have played with them once or twice, and for this I pulled it out because I thought it would be a great addition to my project. So I don't know if this is still available because it was a gift. uh and I did use several dies on this project, guys, but it's not anything that um any of the dies that you have at home, you can improvise if you have something that'll work. For example, if you have a star die, it doesn't have to be this one. It can be whatever you have. And then I used this snowflake die that was gifted in one of the swaps by Miss Jamie Snurch. Thank you, Miss Jamie. I absolutely love it. And this comes with four different snowflakes, and you layer them. And I believe this is an alley die. And what else did I use? And I used a couple more things. Uh, one, two. I used three more things. Wow, I used quite a bit on this one, guys. I'm sorry, but anything that you have will work. I'll link what I used, and if you just feel like you have to have it, then I say go for it, or if you have the means. But if you have something already that will work, I would say do that. I used this Spellbinders die, and the only thing that I used out of this Spellbinders die is the rectangle outer frame. And then I used this one, and I believe this one was by Cuttlebug or Provocraft, and I bought it years ago, and I do not remember what it is called, but it's a beautiful die, and it does beautiful embossing. It kind of reminds me of an Anna Griffin die. So I use that, and the last thing that I use is this 3D embossing folder that I picked up at Tuesday morning. So this definitely will not break the bank, but I don't know if they have it or not, but I will link it if I can find it on Amazon. But this is the embossing folder, and it doesn't look like much when you look at it like this. I wasn't too sure when I picked it up, and let me tell you, the results are amazing. So I'm gonna move all these things aside and share with you my project. What I created, I wanted to create an elegant tone-on-tone Christmas card. Look at how beautiful this card is. It is super pretty. Again, I used the embossing folder another thing that I used, I hauled these cream colored card set from Tuesday morning a while back, and the color is called cream, and it's 50 cards and 50 envelopes, and I think I paid $4.99 for it, so definitely affordable. So I wanted to play with this card because I love that color. And let me grab one more thing. I used it and I moved it and I didn't bring it back. The cream color paper is a pearlized paper that I used to emboss the top layer and to cut out the filigree from that Provocraft die. I used this paper pad. This paper pad, I love it. It's by Die Cuts with a View. It comes with 20 sheets and they're all foiled, but they are paper on the back. So it comes with different colors of foiling. Although I did notice that my older one and my new one, there was a color difference in the cream color. This one's more of a white than a cream. In the new one, the old one was more of a cream. So anyway, but no matter, I love both the colors. They will both work. If anybody picked up those cards from Tuesday morning, both of them will work. This is still available. I will link that also. Anyway, look at the beautiful card that I created. So pretty, and it's just, it was tone on tone. The only other thing that I did is that I used glitter as gold as my accent color in different textures. For example, I used it right here in the foil out of that cardstock. I used it here on the little ornament, and the little ornament, the top part comes with this little intricate circle in the center, and I just cut it out because I wanted to put my sentiment in the ornament. So all I did was I was able to cut it out pretty easy, just 4 little snips, like it's attached here at the bottom and a little bit on each side. So, I just had to snip a little bit, and my little teeny tiny sentiments, and if you have other ones, they'll fit in here as well. And I really like the way that came out. Um, you can't see too much of the 3D embossing folder, the Crafter's Companion one back here, but it looks like lace. So I do have a piece that is just embossed that I want to share with you so you can really see the detail in it. And right here is that Provo Craft die that I use that I said reminded me of the Anna Griffin dies. And then I added some flatback pearls that I hauled back a long time ago. Um, Here is that 3D star that was gifted to me by Miss Vicky. And here is that snowflake that Miss Jamie Snurch gifted me the die. And I just kind of cut off 4 in cream. Some of it was in pearl. Some of it was in just regular 110-pound cardstock. Because I wanted to use the same color, but to have like a different look. And of course, the little ornament was just with plain regular cardstock. It's not the pearl paper. And then the little sentiment I did emboss in gold, and the filigree piece I cut out in the foil paper. But I think it's really, really pretty. And I did mount it on some foam board because I don't like putting a bunch of strips of tape on the back of my projects. I like something solid. And because when you emboss deeply, it kind of warps your paper a little bit. So Miss Kim, if you're watching this video, a little warping is normal. But when you mount it on tape or on another, back it up on another piece of paper, it does straighten out. But you do have to figure out with these 3D embossing folders, it used to be that we go by what's on the our plate on how to do the sandwich for that. But I find that it doesn't work with these Crafter Companion 3D embossing folders, and I have to kind of add chipboard, peel up, open up layers on my platform. So you just kind of have to work with it until you get it right, and then write it down on your embossing folder so you'll remember for next time, because I forgot and it took me a while to figure it out again. And anyway, I put the foam on there to straighten it out and to give it dimension, but I didn't want the foam cord to show. So I did a couple. I have a very narrow, it's like a rope, and it's cream and gold, and it's like a twisted cord, and it's very narrow, so I had to do 2 wraps around my card to cover that foam. But I love the fact that it's cream and has the gold, so it matches exactly with what I have going on in the front of my card. This die that I had, this little star, if you can see, it's one of those dimensional ones. You can see more of the detail when you cut it in solid paper, not regular paper and not glittered paper. You can't see too much of the lines that really you should be able to see because of the glitter, the texture on the glitter. But if you cut it, I've cut it out before on regular paper, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful star set that Miss Vicky gifted me. Thank you, Miss Vicky. And anyway, and the candle, again, it is on that foam board that I bought at the Dollar Tree for $1, the big sheet. And then I cut the second layer. I didn't use all 3 layers. I only used the long one and then the second layer on top. Both I cut out in the foam first, and then I cut it out in the pearl paper and layered them. And they look beautiful. I think they look beautiful. On the top, I just used my artsy wax paste to color in the gold on the flame, the flicker on the flame, the flame on the candle. And that's all I did on the inside. And look at how beautiful this card paper is. I love this color. On the inside, all I did was, this is I'm sorry, I'll grab it in a minute and share it with you. I don't even know if it's still available, but I'll show it to you and then you can hunt for it. This Joy to the World, the Lord Has Come, is a heartfelt creation stamp that I bought a while back, a couple years ago at least, if not more. And then here is that Spellbinders frame that I told you I only used the outer rectangle, and I could have centered it on my card, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted to leave a little space on the bottom so the receipt, if I'm giving this to somebody, I can be able to write my sentiment on the bottom, or if I'm just gifting the card for somebody else to use it, they can write a sentiment on the bottom. So that's why I moved my frame up to leave space down here. So look at, but that's what I created, guys. And afterwards, I did go in and put in the pearls because the embossing reminds me so much of lace. And I love lace when it's got either crystals or it has pearls on it. I love the way that looks. So that's why I went back and just randomly added pearls. There's no rhyme or reason. Anyway, that's the card that I created. I want to share with you the embossing. Look at the embossing folder by Crafter's Companion. It is stunning. I want to move it up close. Hopefully you can get all the details. Doesn't this remind you of embroidered lace? It is super pretty. And I have to say, it did crack my paper. Maybe not on this one. Maybe, I don't, but it's not really, no, yep, it did right here. It's, you can't hardly notice it. You really can't notice it because I quite didn't get my sandwich right. It was just a little too tight. So you got to be careful with that because if it's too light, you don't get the full impression. If it's too tight, it's going to crack your paper. But yes, I do take a little spray bottle and I won't miss the pearlized side of my paper, but when it has just a regular paper backing, no coating on it, I will mist it, lightly mist it, like a couple of pumps. And the bottle that I use is by Ranger, I believe. And it's this little one. And it's an amazing little mister because it's so light. You know, the so fine, the mist. So that's the one that I used. And right here you can see the tear. You can't see it too much in the front. It's right there. But in the back you can see it. And then here it is embossed just in the regular cream paper cardstock, 110 pounds, and it looks just like lace. But there's the two. It's so pretty. But I just wanted to share it with you, what it looks like in just plain paper and what it looks like in the pearlized. But you do have to be careful, like I said, that you won't tear it. And then after I had played with my card, I decided to take out my to cut some extra ones and look at the little embellishment that I made. How pretty is that? I used a little ornament and I punched a hole, and this hole is very, very small, and I'm going to share with you what I use. I have this tool that I bought for leather working, and I'll try and find this and link it for you, but it has a dial that turns. I hope you can see that, and you turn it to the different size holes that you need. But I believe this is made for leather, but I go to this tool quite a bit unless I need a regular tag hole. And I'll go to my my crop is a crocodile, to that one. But when I need something smaller, for example in this little ornament, I go to this one and set it to the biggest hole because it's real tiny. So that's the tool that I use to make the holes. But look at how pretty this embellishment is. And I didn't embellish it more. You know, I could add a poinsettia, I could add something to it, but I left it simple so the recipient can use it. And it just says joy to you. I think these are very, very pretty embellishments. And then here's another one that I created. Same thing, just using the joy word and the little ornament. And of course the joy, I cut it out of the foam core paper from the foam sheet from the Dollar Tree. And you only run it once and it will cut right through it. This is great for shakers as well, guys, because it will cut through it. And here's another one. Again, that little ornament. I love, love, love this little set. One of my best investments. And right here it says joy to the world. And I hung it on with a little jump ring. And I do have oval jump rings that I prefer. I'll link those. But I misplaced them, guys. I have a mess on my desk. And I'll play with something. And if I don't put it away, or sometimes I do put it away and don't remember where I put it away. So I couldn't find those, so I had to go with round ones. And then here is my last one. Again, I made several of these. These were real simple to make. Like I said, I'm one of those people that I don't like to mass produce. It is boring to me. But this was real simple to put together. I actually just put these together this morning. And there is my third one. It just says joy to the world. But look at the beautiful embellishments. I hope that I'm in frame, guys. Um, but that's one of the things I wanted to share with you. I do have another resin video coming up, but right now I just wanted to share this with you. I hope that you like what I created, and I hope that this that it gives you ideas. I'm trying to see, guys. I'm trying to see what you guys see. I hope that this gives you ideas on, different ways to use your dies and to combine them. There's nothing wrong with combining them. There's nothing wrong with, sometimes we all have to improvise, and that's okay. But anyway, everything that I used, I'll link in the description box if I can find it. That way you guys can get them if you want them. And if it's not there, it's probably because I couldn't find it. Thanks for watching. I hope everyone has an amazing day today, and God bless. Bye.